Basically, it's just goblins with a heavy emphasis on night goblins. And you kind of have to use more than just that. If you just want to be competitive in any sort of sense, I do not consider any of this to be competitive gameplay, but it is fun gameplay. And you're going to learn some stuff that is useful for competitive gameplay. And right here, for what I went for, is this is going to be what's going to help me here. So this Gork will fix it. Because I have a lot of heavy skirmishing, and I'm going to have to rely on my range units to do a lot of my killing power. So let's go over my army and kind of my tactics at the same time. So I was facing up against Chaos. That's what I decided to do, and I do in all three battles. I try to make this little concave. So as the enemy approaches, because they can't see anything except for my archers and my rock lobas and the squig hoppers, and of course my skirmish continues. So they're going to push forward, as most people will fall for it, and then you just wrap around. You just come right in there. You give them the big old D. I'm not good thing I don't do drawing for a living. So my army's got the Mage and Marauders, two groups of the Spider Riders with arrows, and then we have the Warlords boys, some nasty skulkers. We can go hit play now. Some more nasty skulkers, some more goblins with fanatics. I do get some good fanatic work done in here, so maybe we can go over it if I remember to catch it. Some nasty skulkers, more goblins with fanatics, 8 peak loonies. So I like putting on the flank there because they'll hold and because they're unbreakable. Some rock lobbers, rusty air, night goblins, and just regular goblins, and 2 units of squig hoppers. And of course, led by Scarsons and followed by some squig herds. So you can see my opponent, he brings slightly unusual, probably didn't know I was bringing goblins. He brought 2 units of Chosen with great weapons, which was just way overkill. And then he has a unit of Chosen right in the middle. And I go ahead and pop Gork will fix it, because now you can see what's happening. What's happening is he's starting his lines getting spread out, so he's not a solid mass anymore. He has some halberds in the back, and he has his little contingent of 2 Exalted Heroes and a Chaos Lord. And he does have his Lore Fire, which is getting kind of worked out on because those goblins are really just starting to hammer on him. So over here, I detached the 8 peak loonies, and they're just here because to tie him up, because what I want him to do is focus on the 8 peak loonies as everyone else comes in. And he, like I said, I'm just peppering away. I had them turned off fire at will because I did not want them shooting at these Chaos Marauders. And now you can see the rock lobbers. I always like to aim in the middle, but since he put a big fat target right in the middle, why not aim at those Chosen? So over here, you might have missed the, the Fanatics, but you can see the 8 peak loonies got on these Marauders, and they've already taken out 16 models to the Marauders 13, so they're actually winning. And you're going to see this. The squig hoppers are going to get in here, and let's just watch them completely collapse. So these Marauders down to 65, and the other group comes in here, they're down to 50 models, 49. He was not ready for this hot goblin action. Over here, this other group of Marauders, once again, they're no match for the might of the Goblin forces. And over here, he sends his Chosen to fight off the nasty Skulkers in the the Warlords boys, and they've gotten 7 kills. Oh no, this is not his Chosen. His Chosen are still over there. He sends it in later. He does have his Chosen in here. You're going to see Skarsnik has 4 kills, and they pretty much are going to start being all Chosen warriors. And then I send in these squig herds just to buff them up and just go ahead and give him a little bit. So he's on a commando mission, and he's sending his Lore Fire up and around to try to take out my arty. And you can see that the real danger right now is just like how much he's just getting peppered. There's so much arrow fire is coming down. You can see his other group of children are just suffering, and I just popped that Gork will fix it, and his speed is down to 15. So he's just at a complete crawl, and there's nothing he can do about all this goblin fire coming raining down on him. Meanwhile, over here, this one group of Chosen, at the cost of half their life, has managed to push off 1 good unit of nasty skulkers and 1 unit of goblin fanatics. So, hope it was worth it. Meanwhile, the 8 peak loonies still over here, up to 21 kills, fighting inspiring champions and Chaos Warriors with halberds. Over here, you can see that the nasty skulkers and the Warlord boys are just eating them up alive. So now what I'm doing is taking my skirmish contingent, and I'm just going to swing them over here, because now I have free reign to shoot either way I want. It's going to be in the back of them, or it's going to be into them, whatever I'm so choosing at the time. Also, Skarsnik, he's over here just eating them up. See, that's 32 models left versus Skarsnik's up to 24 kills, 25 kills. He's just eating them up. And then back over here, just another Gork will fix it. His army is just so slowed by what I can do. I'm just going to keep peppering. And now my goal is this. My goal is leave this little contingent alone and then pick off the pocket. See, like this unit's isolated, this unit's isolated, this is fairly isolated, not great, but I'm going to send in like my units like the squig hoppers, and they're just going to come in here and they're just going to pick off any routing unit just to kind of start breaking his morale. Because honestly, if I just try to go toe to toe with this, there's no way my goblins will be able to take out an exalted lord and or exalted heroes and chaos lord. But you can see they're going to start taking a lot of damage just from being peppered. I also have my my rock lobbers being focused back onto these great weapons. I really hope that he's proud of his 109 kills on goblins. So this is really not too impressive. Meanwhile, the 8-peak loonies holding it down, staying it real, fighting the greatest that Chaos has to offer. And actually, these nasty skulkers are going to do pretty good when they get in there. They do have a 42 melee attack, and if you don't know, they do get a bonus when they're winning combat. So if they're winning combat, they get extra 36 armor piercing, which brings up to 24. So that's not too bad for a 500-point resource unit. Meanwhile, over here, you see Skarsnik has completely routed off the forces of Chaos there with the Warlord boys hanging in tight. And now I've started to focus down fire on these Chaos Chosen with great weapons because they're so pinned away that he's just not going to want any of this action here. And he gives them the order to attack, but by now they're wavering and they're just going to collapse. Over here, I do believe I pop another Gork will fix it. So yeah, so he's still slowed down. I send in the, well, I didn't mean to, but the Hammer of Gork gets stuck into that combat. Nothing I can really do about it. And we're just going to take our Goblin Archers and our Rusty Arrows and we're going to start moving them away. Meanwhile, I'm just smelling the blood in the water. So like I said, I'm just going to start enacting my plan of just picking off any of those straggling units. So like these halberds, perfect unit. They're broken. And then the Mangy Marauders are going to be able to come in here and just run them off the battlefield. Over here, he's still wasting his time with the 8-peak loonies. Only 31 kills. He's got 109 and 65. Probably almost entirely on the 8-peak loonies, which is fine with me. I just don't. It just doesn't bother me at all. And I'm going to save some ammunition, turn off fire at will. I'm just going to send the Force Goblin little archers here, and they're just going to start pouncing on these chosen with great weapons. So once again, maybe not the best use of his resources. So now it's going to be a little bit of positioning, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. You can see now that I've really started to focus down all my archer fire onto his lords and heroes, and it's starting to add up. So let's see how it's going here. So he's at about quarter and a half there, and now that we're all just firing on this one champion, it's really going to start going down. So looks like I shot the Prodder and it missed. He's going to come in, but once again, meanwhile, while he's playing with the Catch the Archer game, all his other units have completely shattered, and I'm just chasing off the ones that haven't shattered yet. Over here, the 8-peak loonies, I think, are still at it. No, is that not the Warlord boys? Yeah. They're still going there. So now let's go back over here. So the Archer Fire has managed to get one down the half, one past a quarter. It made his Lord pop the potion, and they're just getting this annihilated. He's trying to catch my Rock Lobbers, and this is fine. He's just getting pulled in every direction. If he bleeds them together, I can't go after him, but if he pulls them apart, I'm going to take them apart. But if he stays together, he can't catch me. So it's just kind of a bad option for him. So you can see the goblins are just making this Chaos Lord question the gods and why he got chosen. But that's fine. So once again, he goes after these night goblins, everyone splits out, and then everyone's going to turn around and start chasing after him. So I'm just going to start moving everyone away, and now that he has everything completely shattered, I'm going to rally my forces, and we're going to make one more big old goblin push. And you can see that his champion is the one I'm focusing on because his morale is the one that's dropping the most. And you can see the Prodder got almost half his life, maybe a third, with that one shot. And they're just going to start charging in. Once Skarsnik gets in there, it's going to be over because Skarsnik does have 390 weapon strength. I think he has 290 is his armor piercing. No, 275. So he still does pretty good. And at this point, he's not going to want any of that hot goblin action. So let's take a look at the breakdown, see how the goblins performed. So let's look at the goblins first. A decent performance considering what they were fighting. So 24, 45. Okay, the real MVP are these archers. It just decimated his poor heroes. And then the squig hoppers, man, they just came in. They just wrecked anything that didn't have a halberd. So decent performance out of my goblins, kind of performed the way I want. Meanwhile, over here, okay, his chosen got 109 kills, but honestly, can you really brag about 109 kills if you kill night goblins? So, he just, I think he was expecting orcs. So let's go ahead and jump into. All right, I'm going to have to leave this pause just because you can see that both the goblin and the beastmen have kind of vanguarded into each other. So my army is roughly the same. I dumped the artillery, grabbed the giant because beastmen are so quick that you just can't deal with that. So over here, like I said, my army is pretty much exactly the same. There's no real point in going over it. Meanwhile, my opponent had 3 groups of gorehers. He has 2 ungor raiders. And he has some poison warhounds, some harpies for harassment. On the other side, he's got some centigores. The only thing I think he really should have done is just taken those poison warhounds and put them with the centigores. He has some bestigores, a brave shaman of beasts, and then a doombull. And he did, as you can see, forward deploy Kazarak. So let's see how things go for good old beastman here. And I do think this is a terrible matchup. He might have been thinking I was going to bring black orcs or something, but you can see I immediately start shooting at Kazarak, and I saw his engagement here, so I just pulled my troops back, really not knowing what was going on because the battle had just started. So I send in my squigs to go jump on Kazarak as we start pelting him, and he's taking a decent amount of damage. So now that I kind of got my bearings, I go ahead and I throw in the Warlord boys, and the Warlord boys, 12 kills to 32. So these gores are actually this kind of engagement he wants. But that's okay. They're not going to be long for this world because, as you know, the most dangerous thing in the Goblin arsenal for the Bad Moon Boys is the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. They're just going to come in and they're just going to go to town on these poor creatures. Like, all right, so they collide against these Warhounds. It's been about 4 seconds, and you got 10 down, and now the second group's going to come in, and they're just going to collapse them, and they're just collapsing in on them. Meanwhile, over here, he has sent everything he has against these squigs, which is fine. And you see I get a good old, what's the word I'm looking for? Fanatic hit. So I'm actually getting some decent kills out of the AP loonies. They're up to 10. And that was all from those fanatics. So Kazarak's kind of questioning life here. Why is he fighting squigs? Over here, you can see that his centigores get put into a dumpster by the nasty skulkers and the night goblins because these guys are just made to fight heavy armor. And since I don't have any on the field, it does not matter. Over here, I'm just using my poison. Normally they can catch them, but you can see their speed is 75 versus the 78 because of the poison. So he's just going to just go on this long little trip and just, I guess, take a little trip down to Kite Road where you get kited. Meanwhile, I managed to get all of my firing base backing up. He sent in the harpies, but I had in a group of nasty skulkers just kind of holding the line. And then you can see they really put his brave shaman in a dumpster. So now I'm kind of just sending one group back to hold. The other group's going to come in here and work on these ungors. And then he tries to take out my little goblin shaman. But like I said, this goblin's firing squad is just so good. You can just see them collapsing. Their hit points have basically gone from half to nothing in a matter of like 6 seconds. Meanwhile, over here, Kazarak the One-Eye thinks he wants to step up his game and fight Skarsnik. But really, Skarsnik plus his buddy, little Big Jim here, they're just going to wreck poor Kazarak. And that's pretty much all she wrote. It was kind of a wild battle. I mean, at the time, it was very intense, just opening fire and just everything being chaotic. And I can't believe that his Bestigor broke with 8 kills, we broke the morale from the might of the Goblin front line. So let's go ahead and take a breakdown. Take a look at the breakdown of this list. So let's start with the Beastman here on Fiesta. And I think he just wasn't ready. He was expecting a lot more heavy armor. I think against Beastmen or against Greenskins, you can dump those Centigores and even downgrade. Because there's very few things have heavy armor. And you can see his Bestigores, they broke with only 8 kills, almost completely worthless. So my Goblins really just kind of won that ambush engagement. And then over here on my side, you can see that just kind of decent performances out of everything. Nothing really stood out, but I was able to focus down so much that he just was not prepared for it. So I got one last game here, and we're going to face off against the Might of the Empire. All right, here we're at game 3. Once again, I got my little concave. I'm going to try to focus down. And I brought some artillery instead of the Giants, but I faced on against the Empire, and this is the one thing I did not want to fight with my Goblins. A front line of Reichsguard. But I guess it's fair. I did kind of, last time I faced Pippiton, I sent it in the air of Carthage. It was all my Goblins versus him. So, unfortunately for me, my Doom Divers, this is just not the target for them. That's not where they need to be. So I'm going to start switching my target for my Doom Divers, start focusing down on here. I was not expecting a 4 Reichsguard build, and you're going to see once these Reichsguard connect, I'm going to have no hope. No hope at all. These Goblins are going to get completely run over. So this is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start running away. But, like I said, the goblin firing line, it might be the most dangerous firing line in the game. Look at that. What, 2 volleys? 3 volleys. We've taken the Amber Wizard to half life and routed him off the field. So, beware of that. And now we've gotten to focus down this other group of Reichsguard. We're down to half HP. So we're really able to start focusing on here. So here's the one problem, because he's so mobile, and I wasn't able to create my little pocket like I wanted to. You're going to see this is going to be a problem, and later this is going to be a problem. So he's going to be able to isolate my archers, which is going to be the only killing power I really have, because you can see that this Reichsguard got decimated. Over here, I saw him send his Reichsguard after my Squighoppers, and I just tried to flee to the hills, but he was able to catch me and just shut me down completely. Meanwhile, over here, he's starting to regroup, and the battle's still kind of in the works. Unfortunately, he does have, well, unfortunately for me, he does have Boris Todbringer, and this is what I'm talking about. He's able to isolate, and these Night Goblin archers are just going to just have a bad day. And they just don't even know. So he's fighting over here, and I'm kind of just scattered everywhere, just doing what I have to do. I'm getting some decent shots in. I'm able to put in some work. But you're going to see that this is the moment that this is going to be the money shot. You're going to see this poor goblin group. So they have 4,000 hit points. And they're doing okay, right? They're getting some kills in here. And I just change over. I'm going to focus everything down here because I just have nothing that's going to be able to stop this. And it doesn't even matter what kind of goblin unit it is. They're all going to suffer the same fate. So we're at 4,000. And then, okay, so we're about 1 second in, and now we're at 2,600. And, okay, oh, well, he's not done. Oh, he's just going to go through here. Goblins just have such a low mass that heavy cav is the way to defeat them. Whoops. Not chosen with great weapons, not the exalted gods, just any old cavalry will do. So now I'm kind of in a full rout. I only have a little bit of pocket here. I am winning the fight. My nasty skulkers and goblins are able to overwhelm him. I am getting some good fire from behind. And you can see that, like, this greatsword unit is at what, 23 life, and he's just getting plunked away, just getting ripped apart. And these goblins still have a fair number of models able to shoot in here. I'm just desperately trying to get the Morhurge Mangy Marauders up and out, but you can see that the poor goblin forces, my opponent brought the exact list that he needed to shut them down. However, he does make one mistake in here. He sends in this Amber Wizard to fight against Scarsnake, but you know Scarsnake will actually have, where is it? Charge defense against large, so yeah, that was actually a mistake. So he comes in there doing almost no damage to Scarsnake, and Scarsnake managed to rout off that Amber Mage. So if you ever think you're going to get lore sniped by something big and nasty, there you go. Scarsnake is going to be able to put some work in there. So he does break. He's not immune to psychology. At least I don't think he is. Yeah, he's not. And he's just going to run off. So now it's just over, and there's not much I can do about it, just other than to pick away, but it's all over. But the one champion of this battle, like in all battles, is the 8 Peak Loonies. And you can see they're actually, so they're at 20 kills, now they're at 22. They're doing some okay damage, but there's just not going to be enough to hold out. So what could I have done differently? I don't know. I was really expecting artillery. I was expecting a little more artillery fire, so that's why I brought mine. But I think I really needed this Arachnomar Queen. It's if I had an Arachnomar Queen I could have thrown out there, I think it would have been okay. I could have dumped the Doom Diver. I don't know. I would have to really sit down and think about other ways I could have done this. So I hope you enjoyed the Goblin theme, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.